In Umowile village, everyone knew two things. Amarachi was the only daughter of Mazi Okore, owner of the biggest farm in the entire region. She had never lifted a finger in her life. Not because she was lazy, at least not in her own mind, but because her parents had spoiled her from the day she was born. Maids swept, maids cooked, maids washed. Amarachi only woke up, bathed, ate, dressed, and enjoyed life. She was the village Gen Z before Gen Z was even a word. Soft life ambassador, premium princess package. So when she turned 21 and suitors began to line up like market customers waiting to buy fresh gari, Amarachi refused them all. "I'm not ready," she always said. "I want to explore. I want to see the world." But her parents didn't want to hear that. They wanted stability for her, a husband, a home, and someone responsible enough to handle her fire. So when Chukudi returned from Tezi village and asked for her hand in marriage, the whole village buzzed. Chukudi was a millennial man to the core, raised on discipline, early morning farm work, good manners, and a house must be in order. He cooked better than half the women in the village. He cleaned, he fetched water from the stream without complaining. He believed in structure. Mazi Okeke did not waste time. "This is the kind of man that can handle Amarachi," he whispered to his wife the first day Chukudi visited. When her parents insisted that she must marry him because obedience is better than sacrifice, she cried, stamped her feet, rolled on the floor, refused food, and even threatened to run away to Lagos. But eventually, she agreed, and the marriage was arranged. Amarachi didn't cry, but she didn't smile either. She simply accepted it, like someone accepting an update they didn't ask for. Chukudi, for his part, was excited. He had admired Amarachi from afar when they were younger. She was pretty, outspoken, and full of life. Everything he found intriguing and terrifying at the same time. Their wedding was the biggest Ugweke had seen in years. People danced, palm wine flowed, the drummers beat their drums like they wanted the ancestors to hear the celebration in the land of the spirits. But the real story didn't begin until after the celebration, when Amarachi stepped into Chukudi's hut for the first time. The compound was neat, too neat. Brooms arranged, mats rolled perfectly, cooking utensils washed and placed in exact order. Chukudi had always been a clean, strict man. His mother raised him with discipline and routine. Amarachi walked into the hut, looked around and blinked as if she had walked into another planet. "You live like this?" she asked. "Like what?" Chukudi frowned. "So organized. That is how a home should be," he replied. Amarachi shrugged. "Well, okay." That night, after the elders left, after the dancing quieted, after the laughter died, the first sign of tension appeared. "Amarachi," Chukudi said, carefully placing his sandals by the door. "Tomorrow morning, we will wake early. You will help me with morning chores so we can settle into routine." "Chores?" Amarachi repeated. "Yes, nah. Sweeping, cooking, washing plates." "Sorry?" She laughed. "You mean me?" Chukudi blinked. "Who else?" Amarachi opened her mouth, closed it, and folded her arms. "All my life, I never did all those things," she said. "We had housemates." "That was your father's house," he replied calmly. "This one is your own now." Amarachi stared at him as if he was speaking a foreign language. The next morning, the battle line was drawn. Chukudi woke at 5 a.m., swept the compound, fetched water, and cooked yam. Amarachi woke at 9 a.m., yawned loudly, and asked if breakfast was ready. Chukudi dropped the spoon he was holding. "Amarachi, you could not even boil water." "But you already boiled it," she said sweetly. He stared. She smiled. The tension did not explode. It simmered. That was the beginning. The beginning of a Gen Z princess and a millennial husband attempting to share one hut. The first 2 weeks of marriage felt like walking barefoot on hot charcoal for Chukudi. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, fetched water from the stream, swept the compound, boiled water for bathing, and then headed to his small piece of farmland. He always imagined that by the time he returned, his wife, the beautiful Amarachi, with the sharp tongue and sharper nails, would have taken care of at least something in the house. But instead, he walked into a hurricane every single day. Clothes thrown everywhere, her hair beads scattered on the floor, plates stacked high in the kitchen like a mountain waiting to collapse, her slippers exactly where she kicked them off, and worst of all, Amarachi sitting on the bed, fanning herself, chewing groundnuts, and scrolling through her small pink button phone like she was in Lagos. "Amarachi," he said one afternoon, dropping his hoe by the door. "You didn't sweep?" She looked up like she just noticed he existed. "I was tired." "You didn't cook either?" She blinked dramatically. "I didn't feel like it." "You didn't wash the plates from yesterday?" She snapped her gum. "I thought maybe you would do it when you return. You like things clean now?" Chukudi stared. She smiled. "So, I should farm, sweep, cook, fetch water, and wash plates? Amarachi, am I your husband or am I your house girl?" She shrugged. My parents didn't raise me to suffer. Besides, we had housemates. I never did all these things. For your father's house, Chukudi shouted, pointing at the window. This one is our own now. And I said, I'm not ready. Marriage came too fast. If they had allowed me, I would still be at home enjoying my life. That cut deeper than a machete. So, you regret marrying me? I didn't say regret, I just said I wasn't ready. Chukudi rubbed his head in frustration. Amarachi, this house is dirty. This food situation is bad. I can't come home every day to chaos. She hissed. If it's too much, go and hire a maid. The argument escalated into shouting. Her voice sharp like pepper. His deep voice shaking the walls. By sunset, the entire village already knew Chukudi the millennial man and Amarachi the Gen Z princess were at war. The next day, things got worse. Chukudi's friends gathered under the mango tree near his house, laughing loud enough for him to hear as he swept the compound alone. Hey, whoa, Chukudi, how market? One shouted. I thought you married a wife, not a madam. Another added, a whole you, strong man of the village, now doing house chores because of one small Gen Z girl. Chukudi ignored them and kept sweeping. But Amarachi heard everything from inside. She opened the door and glared at the men. Is it your sweeping? The men clapped and whistled. Ah, see attitude. This one will finish Chukudio. Amarachi slammed the door. Chukudi dropped the broom. Why did you insult my friends? Why are they talking about me? She fired back. Because you are not doing anything, he shouted. Oh, please, she scoffed. You should stop telling them about our home then. I didn't tell them anything. Oh, please, she scoffed. Everything spreads in this village. If I sneeze, the palm trees will hear. Later in the evening, Amarachi scattered his hot again while looking for her hairnet. Why don't you keep your things properly? Chukudi said softly, trying not to trigger another fight. Because I'm not a village woman, she snapped. Chukudi's head jacked up. What did you say? I said I'm not one of these village women that wake up at 4 a.m. to sweep and cook and farm and carry heavy loads. I am Amarachi, only daughter of Chief Okafor. And so what? He asked calmly, painfully. So, treat me accordingly. Chukudi stared at her for a long moment. Something in his chest cracked. You are my wife, he said quietly, not a guest. Well, maybe marriage was a mistake, Chukudi. I told them I wasn't ready, but they pushed me into it, and now you want me to become someone I'm not. I don't want you to become someone else, he said. I just want partnership. She threw her hands in the air. I'm tired of all these talks. I beg, leave me. She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. For 3 days, the fights continued. Sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, but boiling under the surface. Chukudi stopped smiling, stopped eating well, stopped talking to his friends except when necessary. On the 4th day, he walked into the hut and found Amarachi lying on the bed, crying softly. He paused. What is it? I'm going home, she said, wiping her tears. I can't do this anymore. Home? To your parents? She nodded. Chukudi swallowed hard. Because of house chores? Because of everything, she cried. You shout, you complain, you make me feel useless. You don't understand me. You don't even try. I'm going home. Amarachi, she cut him off. Please, I need air. She packed one small bag, tied her wrapper, and left the hut without looking back. Chukudi stood there, frozen, his heart punching his ribs. The moment she crossed the village square, his friends shouted, Ewo! Gen Z wife has gone, oh, she don't finally run. One added, Chukudi should have married our age mate. Now see him. He didn't answer. He felt empty. That night, he sat outside the hut alone, staring at the moon. Everything was falling apart. Everything. And he didn't know how to fix it. That night, after Amarachi walked away with her small bag, the entire village seemed to breathe differently. The cricket still sang, the wind still brushed the palm leaves, but for Chukudi, the world felt strangely hollow, like someone had scooped out the middle of his chest and left it aching and cold. He sat outside his hut long after the moon climbed high into the sky, staring at the dusty path she had taken. Amarachi's footsteps were long gone, but he kept replaying them in his mind, each step sounding like an accusation. You pushed her too much. You shouted too much. You didn't understand her. His mother's hut was a short walk away, but he wasn't ready to talk. He couldn't even talk to himself, let alone anyone else. Pride and heartbreak mixed inside him like sour palm wine. At Amarachi's parents' compound, she arrived crying, wiping tears with the back of her hand. Her mother rushed to her immediately. Name, what happened? Who beat you? Who offended you? Nobody, she snuffed. I'm tired. Marriage is stressing me. Her father came out, stern, face, hands behind his back. Sit down, talk. Amarachi dropped into a chair dramatically. Daddy, Chukudi wants to kill me with chores. Every day it's sweep, cook, wash, fetch water. I didn't come to this world to suffer. Her jaw tightened. He is treating you like a house help? Yes, Amarachi said, blowing her nose. I'm tired. I want to stay here. Her mother wrapped her in a hug. Stay as long as you want. Nobody will stress you here. Her father nodded. You will not go back until I speak with him.
Amarachi didn't know whether to be relieved or more emotional, so she cried some more for dramatic effect. But after 3 days in her parents' house, something surprising happened. She started missing Chukwudi. His steady voice, his calm explanations, how he adjusted her necklace without saying a word, how he always brought her groundnuts from the farm. She even missed the way he said her name, slowly, like a song. Still, she didn't admit it to anyone. For 4 days, Chukwudi moved around the village like a widower whose spirit had left his body. He still swept his compound, but slowly. He still fetched water, but his steps dragged like sandbags. He still farmed, but he barely noticed the sun burning his back. Everywhere he went, people whispered, Amarachi really left him? That Gen Z girl don't finish our millennial brother. He should have married an Nana age mate. Now see him. He didn't answer. He felt empty. That night, he returned to his empty hut. The bed felt too large, the silence felt too loud, and the smell of Amarachi's perfume, sweet, stubborn, and sharp, still lingered on her pillow. He picked up the pillow, held it to his chest, closed his eyes, and his heart broke all over again. He missed her, truly missed her. Not just her beauty, not just her elusiveness, but the chaotic way she filled every space, the way she talked too fast, the way she frowned dramatically when annoyed, the way she laughed like someone who had never suffered before. Yes, she was stubborn. Yes, she was spoiled. Yes, she acted like marriage should run on autopilot while she relaxed. But she was his, and without her, the hut did not feel like home. The 5th morning, Chukwudi had no strength to go to the farm. He sat on his wooden stool, staring at nothing, when a shadow fell across his doorway. His mother. Tall, strong, wise, the kind of woman whose presence alone made the wind adjust itself. She entered the hut without waiting for permission. After all, she built this hut with her own hands 20 years ago. Chukwudi, she said, dropping her wrapper on a chair. Where is your wife? Chukwudi looked down. She went home to her parents. Her mother inhaled sharply, sat beside him, and touched his shoulder. My son, talk to me. What happened? It was the first gentle voice he had heard in days, and it broke him. Mama, his voice cracked. We fight every day. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she doesn't fetch water, she leaves the house dirty, she talks back, she acts like I am stressing her. She said marriage came too early for her. Her mother listened silently, nodding slowly. He continued, I shout too much, I get angry easily, and now she's gone. Her mother let out a long sigh and patted his back. My son, Amarachi is not a lazy girl. She's a princess, and princesses behave like how they were raised. Her parents spoiled her, pampered her, protected her from suffering. That is not her fault. Chukwudi wiped his face. So what should I do, Mama? Leave her? Leave who? Your mother scoffed. You better hold your wife well. Love does not grow on palm trees. She adjusted her wrapper and leaned closer. Listen, Chukwudi, a Gen Z woman like Amarachi will not respond to shouting. You cannot force responsibility into her head. You guide her, teach her, love her, lead her with patience. Chukwudi looked up slowly. Your mother continued. I taught you how to cook, and now you cook better than your sisters. I taught you how to price in the market, and now even I fear you when bargaining. Teach Amarachi the way I taught you. He blinked. Teach her? Yes, she said firmly. Teach her everything. How to cook, how to sweep, how to wash clothes, how to go to the stream, how to buy things in the market. She is willing, she just does not know how. She touched his cheek. A woman becomes who her husband nurtures her to be, not who villagers expect her to be. Chukwudi breathed deeply. Your mother stood. Go and bring your wife home. She is your responsibility, and you are her safe place. He nodded slowly. Mama, what if she refuses? Your mother smiled knowingly. She won't. That girl loves you more than her pride allows her to admit. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the palm trees, Chukwudi bathed, wore his cleanest wrapper, shaved his beard, and sprinkled perfume to smell decent. His heart beat fast, his hands trembled, but he walked towards Chief Okafor's compound with purpose. He needed his wife back. He needed his home back. He needed Amarachi. And for the first time, he knew exactly how to win her heart. Not with shouting, not with anger, but with patience. Real, steady, unshakable patience. Because love, true love, was work. And he was finally ready to do it. Chief Okafor's compound sat on the far end of the village, surrounded by tall palm trees and a fence made of neatly arranged bamboo. The moment Chukwudi stepped through the gate, 3 things hit him at once. The smell of roasting plantain, the loud chatter coming from the main hut, and the heavy tension in the air. Tension that had been sitting there since Amarachi returned home. 2 of Chief Okafor's guards saw Chukwudi and exchanged looks. Who he come find? One asked. The princess's wife, the other whispered. Trouble day. Chukwudi didn't ignore them. He walked straight, back straight, heart punching so loudly he wondered if the guards could hear it. Before he reached the entrance, Amarachi's father stepped out, tall, proud, intimidating, his wrapper tied high like a man ready for battle. Good evening, sir, Chukudi greeted, bowing respectfully. Chief Okafor didn't return the greeting. He simply folded his arms. What are you looking for in my compound? Chukudi swallowed. I came for my wife. Your wife? The same wife you drove with shouting, the same girl you stressed with chores as if she's your maid? You think because her parents didn't train her to suffer, you can be the one to teach her suffering? Chukudi breathed in slowly. He didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. I have made mistakes, he said, quietly. I shouted too much. I didn't understand her. I handled things badly. I accept that. Chief Okafor blinked, surprised by the softness. Chukudi continued, voice steady. Sir, I didn't marry Amarachi because I needed a maid. I married her because she is the woman I want beside me. I just didn't know how to manage our differences. I was wrong, but I want to correct myself. Please give me another chance. For the first time, the old man's expression softened just a little. Before he could respond, Amarachi's mother stepped out, tying her headscarf. She looked at Chukudi from head to toe. Oga, you want to take Amarachi back? Yes, ma. And who will be doing all the cooking and cleaning in your house? She asked sharply. Chukudi raised his head. The determination in his eyes startled her. We will learn together. Learn together? She blinked. Yes, ma. I will teach her. I will be patient. I won't shout again. Amarachi didn't grow up doing house chores. That is not her fault. It's just her upbringing. And I respect that. Behind her, Amarachi stood at the doorway listening, silent, shocked, frozen. Her heart trembled. Her mother raised an eyebrow. So, you are admitting that she is not wrong? Amarachi is not wrong, Chukudi answered. We just didn't understand each other. But I want to try again. Her father stared at him for a long moment, then nodded towards the doorway. Everything depends on Amarachi.
Amarachi stepped out slowly. Her wrapper was tied loosely around her waist, her eyes slightly puffy. But she lifted her chin like the princess she was. You are here, she said softly. I'm here, he replied. Silence stretched between them like a rope. Then Amarachi scoffed lightly. After shouting at me every day, I was wrong. And telling me I don't do anything. I was frustrated, not angry at you, angry at myself. And letting your friends mock me. I didn't tell them anything. People in this village talk too much. She folded her arms. So what do you want now? I want my wife, he said simply. Not a maid, not a servant, just my wife. Her lips trembled, but she hid it. And what will happen when I don't know how to cook pepper soup the way your mother cooks it? Will you shout again? No. And if I forget broom somewhere and the whole compound is dusty, I will teach you how to sweep. Slowly, gently. And if I burn the food, we will cook another one together. Amarachi blinked rapidly, fighting her smile. Together? Yes, he said. Everything together. Her heart melted like hot palm oil. But Chukudi, people will laugh at you, she whispered. Your friends already laugh at you. I'm not married to my friends. I'm married to you. That sentence hit her harder than thunder. Her breath caught. Her throat tightened. Her eyes softened. Her father cleared his throat loudly. If Amarachi agrees to go with you, so be it. But you must treat our daughter well. I will, Chukudi promised. He turned to Amarachi. His voice softened. Amarachi, Biko, come home. She hesitated only for a moment, then nodded slowly. I will come. Her mother gasped. You will? Amarachi smiled shyly. Yes, I miss him. They walked out of the compound together. Chukudi carried her small bag. Amarachi walked beside him quietly, stealing glances at him like a girl falling in love for the first time. When they reached their hut, she paused. Chukudi, she whispered, are you sure you're not angry anymore? He shook his head. No anger, only patience. And you will teach me everything? Yes. And you won't laugh when I don't get it right? Never. Her smile this time was full and beautiful. The next morning, Chukudi woke up early, fetched water, then gently tapped Amarachi. Nay, wake up. Today we start small lesson. She groaned. Lesson K? Which one again? He laughed. Cooking 101. She sat up dramatically. I want to learn, but don't shout. I won't. They went to the kitchen hut. He gave her a knife. Cut onions. She held the knife like it was a demon. He guided her hands. Slowly, gently. That's it. When she chopped the onions too big, she panicked. Chukudi, it's big. Yes, but we will manage it. No shouting. No shouting. She beamed. By afternoon, they cooked together. She burned the okra soup. He laughed softly, not mockingly. At least you cooked. And she laughed too. The next day, he took her to the stream. Amarachi, carry this small bucket. She gasped. Small? It's heavy. He adjusted it. Use both hands, balance your waist. She tried and fell sideways into the sand. Chukudi rushed to her. Are you hurt? She burst into laughter. Chukudi, leave me. This bucket hits me. He laughed with her until villagers passing by shook their heads. Love, don't finish this millennial man, they whispered. Chukudi didn't care. He was happy. Another day, he took her to the market. People stared. Why Chukudi they follow woman buy pepper?
He won't turn wife? Amarachi squeezed his hand. Let's go home. No, he said gently. Ignore them. We came to buy tomatoes. She smiled nervously, but followed him. He taught her how to price. The woman selling tomatoes called 600 naira. Amarachi shouted 100 naira. Chukudi nearly fainted, but the tomato seller burst out laughing. Ah, this one they learned from her husband. Amarachi grinned proudly. For the first time, their hut did not feel like a battlefield. It felt like a home, a real home. The morning sun peeked over the horizon, spilling golden light across the village. For the first time in weeks, Chukudi woke up without the familiar weight of frustration pressing on his chest. The compound was quieter now, not because there was nothing to do, but because Amarachi was no longer resisting. She had taken the first steps towards learning, and he felt a small flicker of hope. Good morning, Ne, he said softly. Good morning, sir, she mumbled playfully, teasing him with the title he had once jokingly given himself as the head cook and cleaner. He smiled. Today, we start laundry lessons. She groaned. Laundry care? Which one again? He laughed. Nothing too difficult, just small daily work. They went to the washing area near the stream. The water sparkled under the morning sun, and small birds chirped cheerfully as if to encourage their lesson. He handed her a small bucket of water. First, dip the cloths and feel the water. It is cold, yes, but it will clean. She squealed when the water touched her fingers, pulling back. Chukudi, it's freezing. He chuckled. You will get used to it, slowly, patiently. Her fingers trembled as she rubbed the cloth, and for a moment she thought she might fail. But Chukudi guided her hands, showing her how to scrub carefully and rinse thoroughly. The tension in her shoulders eased with every motion. There, see, he said, smiling. You are learning. She looked at him, admiration softening her stubborn expression. I didn't think I could do, she admitted. You can, Nay. You just need guidance, just like in everything. By midday, Amarachi's arms were tired, but her heart felt light. She had done it. She had washed her first set of clothes without breaking anything. She laughed, throwing a damp piece of cloth at Chukudi. Ha! I did it! He laughed with her, returning the damp piece of cloth. Yes, my princess. And now, the next lesson awaits. Lunch was a simple affair of boiled yam and sauce. Amarachi carefully peeled and sliced the yam, her hands steadier than before. Chukudi watched her, pride swelling in his chest. He noticed the determination in her eyes, the way she focused, and he knew that their battles had not been in vain. This was not just about house chores, it was about building a partnership, brick by brick. Your first lesson in cooking is patience, Amarachi, and your second lesson is tasting. She rolled her eyes playfully. Tasting already? Are you sure this is fair? He laughed. Marriage is about fairness, Amarachi, but also teamwork. She stirred the sauce carefully, her tongue peeking out slightly in concentration. Chukudi guided her hand, showing her how to season slowly, add salt gently, and stir with care. For the first time, she felt confident that she could feed a husband properly, not perfectly, but with love. You see, Chukudi said, tasting the sauce, it is better than yesterday. You are improving. Amarachi's chest swelled with pride. I think I can do this, she whispered. The afternoon was spent sweeping the compound. Chukudi demonstrated the right angle, the gentle wrist motion, and how to keep the dust moving forward without scattering it everywhere. Amarachi copied him, stumbling a little, but he never shouted. Every mistake was corrected with patience, every success met with encouragement. You are doing well, Amarachi, he said, when she finally managed to sweep a small section clean. I am proud of you. Her eyes glistened. You really mean that? I do. Today, you and I are learning together. We are a team. She smiled shyly. A team. I like that. That evening, Chukudi and Amarachi sat outside their hut, exhausted but satisfied. The sun set slowly behind the palm trees, painting the sky with oranges and purples. Crickets chirped their nightly song, and the gentle rustle of leaves made the moment feel serene. You know, Amarachi said softly, I never thought chores could feel this enjoyable, learning with you. Chukudi took her hand. And I never thought I would enjoy teaching, but you make it easy, Ne. Her heart fluttered. I never thought I would enjoy marriage, she admitted, but with you, it feels like home. His lips curved a small smile. Home is not just the walls or the floor. Home is who you share it with. She leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling a warmth she had never experienced before. I think I'm falling in love with you more, Chukudi. He pressed a soft kiss to her hair. And I, with you, Ni, this patience, this effort, this partnership, it's love, real love. The next week brought more lessons. She learned to fetch water without spilling, cook simple meals without burning them, and even negotiate at the market for fruits and vegetables. Villagers whispered and laughed at first, but gradually they began to respect their determination. Chukudi really did show his wife how to live well, oh, one neighbor said. Na love, oh, another replied. This girl they try, and the man they patient. Amarachi smiled quietly at the praise, but more importantly, she noticed the transformation within herself. She was learning resilience, responsibility, and how to work together with the man she loved. Chukudi noticed too. Her eyes sparkled with pride when she accomplished something new. Her smile came more easily, and her stubbornness softened. He realized that his patience was paying off, not just in tasks, but in the heart of the woman he loved. Their arguments, once loud and sharp, had become moments of gentle correction and laughter. One afternoon, Chukwudi's friend came by, leaning lazily along the mango tree near the hut. "Ah, Chukwudi, we hear say your wife don't finally sweep properly," one called. Another laughed. "Now you they turn her to house girl, yet she still they laugh." Chukwudi smiled, brushing off their mockery. "No, my friends, we are learning together. She is my wife, not my servant." The friends blinked. They had expected complaints, anger, or excuses. Instead, they saw a man glowing with quiet pride and a woman laughing gently as she carried a bucket of water, confident and graceful. The next morning, Amarachi's parents came by, curious to see their daughter's progress. Chief Okafor's eyes widened as he entered the hut, seeing neatly stacked plates, clothes drying in the sun, and the couple laughing together in the kitchen. "Ah, this is different," he said slowly. "I see Chukwudi did not just come here to take my daughter, he came to guide her." Amarachi's mother smiled, proud. She has learned, and more importantly, she has chosen to love him through learning. Chief Okafor nodded. A good marriage is not built on ease. It is built on patience, understanding, and effort. I see that now. Amarachi beamed. "Yes, father, he never gave up on me, even when I was difficult." Chukwudi squeezed her hand.